Hello and welcome back to Pravus Gaming and more Plague Inc. Evolved custom scenarios. Last time we did Trump's Awakening. I can only imagine that the comment section is not so pleasant for that one. I haven't really read everything since then, but oh well. Let's go to our subscribed list and kind of work our way down to the bottom. I did add a lot of new scenarios that look kind of fun, very highly rated. Let's work from the bottom, because we've done most of these things. We have not done SCP-632, though. A bad headache. Alright, why not? SCP-632 is a Euclid-classed SCP, which is a spider species that releases their millions of microscopic eggs attached to thin web strands carried away by wind. The larvae enter through human skin pores, wow, it is microscopic, isn't it, and travel to the brain, causing headaches. They release endorphins when pressure is applied, making people hit their heads until the spiders can exit. What is that? Do you mean they just bang their heads until there's a hole in their head? They kill themselves? Probably. Everything involving SCPs is creepy. I'm actually not super familiar with all the lore behind a lot of the SCPs, including 632, but I don't know. It's kind of interesting. Let's give it a shot. Why not? It is a parasite, just like last time. Alright, well this sort of thing seems to be working just fine. I'm going to switch things up into transstasis, I think. Maybe we want pathostasis. Abilities? No, we'll stick with transstasis. I think that's better. Alright, why not? Let us continue. Normal mode, SCP-632. Sounds good. A parasitic spider that makes people bang their heads until they can't get out. Extremely resistant to heat, but they have a big advantage in hot countries. But they do struggle in the cold places. Alright, so that's good to know. We were first discovered in China. Time to spread around the world. Alright, sounds good. Undiscovered intro. Okay, the Foundation haven't discovered SCP-632 yet. What does this mean? Undiscovered intro. There more than one intro? That means they didn't even got to give it its designation. The Foundation knows less about you, and it will take longer before they found a solution to stop you. Find. It doesn't have an apostrophe. Welcome to Pravus Grammar Gaming. Because I'm a grammar Nazi or something, I don't know. We've infected our first human. Yes, we have. Sounds good. Let's take a look at our options. Transmission. Web strands. I feel like I should make a Spider-Man joke here. Spider-Man. Does whatever a Spider-Man can. Web strands. Microscopic eggs are attached to feathery threads, which are virtually weightless. Air currents help spreading the eggs. We already know that. Let's pick it up. Because we do have transstasis, so I don't mind. This leads to Corpse Feeder 1. More spiders exit the dead host in search for more victims. I did notice we actually start with some lethality here, which is interesting. It means we're going to get detected a little bit quickly. Skin pores. The tiny larvae that hatch can enter the skin pores of humans, increase land transmission, and mutation. Mutation could be good, because we did get transstasis, so we can kind of focus a lot on this, and maybe the mutation will get us a bunch of symptoms for free before they get too expensive. It might be good for us, it might not. A little bit of RNG required. Speaking of symptoms, we have headache. Larvae feed from brain tissue, which causes pain. Reduce ability to work. That sounds like some cure resistance. Alright, fair enough. As far as abilities, we start off with Shell 1. Eggs shell thickens, more resistant in wealthy environments, pretty useful. And Euphoria 1. Release of endorphin in the brain causes distraction and makes research slower. Again, seems like some cure progress resistance. Alright, fine. Let's go ahead and get some DNA through. China's going to have a very bad day. Wow, that was a surprising amount of DNA there. Let's save up for the skin pores. I don't see any reason to get the extra severity too early on. If we are going to have a hard time in cold countries, that means that Iceland and Greenland are going to be very difficult for me. So, yeah, let's not get the extra lethality. Let's not get the extra severity. Let's not get detected too early. Let's kind of go under the radar. Ooh, lots of options here. We have Insect 1. Insects can carry around eggs since they are colder, especially in hot and humid countries, and mutation. Are you saying that the eggs are colder, so the insects carry them around in order to maintain equilibrium and their own body temperature regulation? Maybe. I don't know. Water 1 seems pretty normal. Objects. Eggs can stay longer on objects until they are touched by hosts. Land transmission and mutation increased. I like the land transmission. That's a lot of infectivity, actually. Air 1, pretty good. Animals 1. Eggs can attach to other animals, especially in urban and rural regions. Also mutation. So we can stack a lot of mutation here. Is that a good thing in the early game? Probably not. Let's focus more on some water and air. and then I'll worry about getting these and kind of letting the game mutate like crazy. As far as our symptoms, though, do we go for the headache? It doesn't give us much, and it does some severity, so let's not. And I don't care about euphoria. Yeah, let's save up some points. We'll grab water, we'll grab air, grab some resistances. Let's not get too much early game severity. Wow, that was a lot of DNA too. Gee whiz. All right, fine, let's go for water 1. Water 2 is basically the same thing, but very infective at 14 points. It's pretty affordable. I like it. Let's do it. Thank you. China, what do you consider to be, by the way? Just urban. Very urban. Which is interesting, actually, because China's population is mostly congregated around certain cities along the East Coast. There's a lot of territory in China that's not especially well populated. It's a very large country, you know. I mean, it's about the same size as the United States. Pretty close. Just from looking at it, I don't actually know that for sure. Air 1 sounds pretty good. And then we'll start working on some resistances, I think. Headache mutated for free. Okay, we have no choice. Looks like we are going down that path. Symptoms. This opens up confusion. Pressure on the painful area makes the larva release endorphins. Leads to confusion. Alright. Head bashing. Release endorphin when pressure is applied in the region where the pain is, which is basically another way to say the exact same thing you did for confusion. But okay. Makes infected hit their heads with blunt force repeated times. Makes infected hit their heads with blunt force repeated... You mean repeatedly. That's a better way to say it. Insomnia. Headache will keep infected awake. They are less productive. Don't care about that too much. Let's go for the shell. Shell 1 for wealthy environments. Not that we're in wealthy countries yet, but it looks like this did lead to a few new things, including Hibernation 1. Spiders that are immobilized by cold can regain mobility when heat is near. Alright, so that sounds like cold resistance to me, which is something we are absolutely going to want in the early game, I think. Looks like we got into Russia. Whoop, don't want to miss that bubble. There we go. So let's go for the cold resistance then. Actually, let's go for 2. Why not? Yeah, 2 regions. The faster we can spread in Russia, the more likely we'll get a boat off to Greenland and something off to Iceland as well, which sounds pretty good to me. We're in Japan. We're in Australia. We got to another island. Good, good. No symptoms. Let's instead go for Air 2. That sounds pretty... What's that? Something new happened. Vapor. Due to weightlessness, eggs can be carried around water vapors. That sounds really good. Yeah, we're gonna go for that. Absolutely. They found us. Oh no, they found SCP-632. You have been noticed. People report small spiders coming out of dead people's heads after they died from head trauma. The SCP Foundation had noticed you, and now they try their best to contain you. First death in India. Alright, well, you know what storm you guys have unleashed. Let's go for the water vapors. Sounds pretty good. Central America has started working on a cure. Oh no, I'm so scared of Central America. More spiders exit the dead host and search for more victims. What does this do? Not sure. Shell 2, more resistant to pesticides. Pretty expensive. I imagine that's more wealthy resistance. Avoidance 1, mature spiders are harder to catch and analyze in labs. Sounds like a cure resistance thing. Adapt 1, more resistant to toxins. Well, I'm not strictly worried about the cure quite yet. We are not spreading very fast in places like Russia, even with double cold resistance. Let's go for Shell 2. Kind of worried, honestly. This is going to be a little bit tougher than I thought. Confusion mutated for free. It's one of our first symptoms. Not a lot of people should be working on the cure, so we have a lot of time, I think. That's 33 points to work with. Adapt, Euphoria, no. Let's worry about, what's this? Obsession. They are obsessed with hitting their heads to dull the pain. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Corpse feeders, 5 points. Alright, let's go for it. Corpse feeders 2. Spiders use corpses as a food source and reproduce more rapidly around them. That sounds an awful lot like corpse transmission to me. Let's not get that yet, though. The extra severity could be very bad for us. Let's go for animals, because rural and urban might be good for us. In fact, let's go for animals 2. Yeah, let's keep our severity low, but this sounds like a pretty good way to start killing people and still be able to infect. So if we can at least get into every country, I will feel fairly comfortable picking up corpse feeders and then grabbing some lethality. Which means we're basically going to have to go down the the symptom tree pretty hardcore. We're in Iceland now. That's good. We're getting around. We're missing Greenland. That is the one country we are missing. All right, fair enough. Insects doesn't sound especially useful. Well, maybe it is. Hot and humid countries. I mean, some of the countries that you wouldn't expect are considered to be human. Like Sweden is a humid country, presumably because of a lot of rain. So is Russia. I mean, actually, a lot of these cold areas are considered to be humid. Insects actually might be good. The extra mutation chance scares me, but we're going to do it. Land transmission is no longer relevant to me because we are in every country except for Greenland, so let's not do that. I'm going to grab Euphoria while it's cheap. Want to grab Euphoria too? No, let's save our points. Save our points, we'll go for some symptoms. Head bashing just developed. Come on, get into Greenland. Russia, send a boat. Send a boat. India leading a cure effort. Okay, great. Okay, there we go. That looks like Greenland to me. Perfect. So let's go ahead and start working up some symptoms. Let's go for corpse feeders before I forget. Bleeding is now available. Can die from exsanguination? Insanguination? I don't know what that word is, actually. Bravo. It's a rare thing that I actually don't recognize a word at all. Less productive. Insomnia sounds good. Anemia doesn't sound that useful, though. We could go for the extra mutation chance, which might actually save us points in the long run, so let's go for that. We do have transstasis after all. We might as well play to our strength. Euphoria again? Avoidance? Adapt? I don't know, I'm kind of worried that they're going to start getting a lot of cure resistance, cure progress very quickly. Maybe, maybe not. Let's grab bleeding. This leads to skull fracture. Infected hit their heads with enough force to cause skull fractures. Alright. Internal hemorrhaging, blood loss is lethal, and fury. Victims enter a furious frenzy, hitting themselves and others alike. Seems like internal hemorrhaging is the best bang for their buck, so I'm going to go for that instead if I can get up to 14 points. Obsession mutated for free. Mania. Severe psychological effects are triggered from obsession to apply blunt force to the head. Some stats, but it doesn't say it does anything else, so let's go for the hemorrhaging. That leads to Hemorrhagic Shock, which again, very lethal. If we do have corpse transmission, then killing people in Greenland doesn't really scare me, so getting a lot of lethality right now is actually very good. Mania did develop, alright. Yeah, we're still spreading pretty well in Greenland despite the fact that we are killing, so alright. Do we go for skull fractures? Or do we save up for Hemorrhagic Shock? I think we go with the skull fractures. Wide open! Increased brute force applied to the head, leave large holes where lots of spiders burst out. Increased corpse transmission. That sounds pretty good. But we don't need more transmission per se. Looks like we're gonna do just fine in Greenland, actually. They just carpet bombed a lot of their cities and killed most of their population for me. Yeah, very nice. Fury develops. We are definitely running out of steam, though. We're not doing amazingly well here. These are kind of expensive. Symptostasis might have actually been a requirement for me. A little bit worried. Can we outrace the humans? Maybe. Do we go for... I think we go for the wide open. 30 points, but that's most lethal. I'm definitely not going to go for coma. Well, wait, it doesn't... Coma usually reduces cure progress a lot. It doesn't say that it does, though. I have to wonder if it does, and it's just not said, because if it costs 25 points for that little lethality, you'd imagine it does something useful. Maybe that's actually a good solution. We're at 59%. Almost the entire world is... In fact, the entire world is working on it. Let's go for coma. It's gonna be my Hail Mary right now. Let's sort of see what happens. Of course, going for more lethality would have got me faster DNA points, but oh well. I think that might have worked out for us, though. Let's go for... Do we go for Hemorrhagic Shock? I don't know what this next one is. It might be really good. Wide open's a little bit more lethal, but let's go for Hemorrhagic Shock. That leads to brain hemorrhage. Basically a similar kind of thing, but alright. The brain suffers from head trauma and can be severely injured in the process. 33 points. Well, we should be killing a lot faster now, so I am hopeful this is going to destroy cure research quickly enough that we're going to be fine. The coma does appear to have been the right choice. Wide open mutated for free. Excellent. That's mutation working in our advantage now. I love it. Let's go for the brain hemorrhage. And let's go for avoidance. Is that going to be like a genetic reshuffle? It does appear to have barely done something. Not a lot, though. Let's go for another one. No. No, maybe not. Alright, well, it was worth a shot. Buy myself a little bit of extra points, but that appears to have worked. Coma was definitely the right choice. Going for the early cold resistance was definitely the right choice. That actually could have been a pretty tough scenario right there. Arguably. Could have been very tough indeed. Let's go for insects just for fun. Pick up those SCP-632 to eradicate humans. And goodbye. Victory. We have successfully eliminated all life on Earth. We got 2 out of 3 stars. Not amazing. Would have loved to have gotten 50,000 points, but oh well. 446 days and 65% cure progress. It's okay. Not bad. That was actually a surprisingly tough scenario. There's a lot that needs to be done as far as the grammar and stuff like that, but overall, I mean, it's a Plague Inc. scenario. It's pretty solid. It does exactly what you expect it to do. You infect people and then you kill them. So, kudos. Yeah, I mean, not bad. Not bad at all. Yeah, I'll recommend it. Sure, a bad headache. Thank you. That was quite fun. Alright, well, that is enough for today's video. Thank you guys for watching. This has been Pravus with Plague Inc. Evolved. If you enjoyed this video, then hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And of course, let me know of some more scenarios that you think I ought to try. My name has been Pravus, and I will see you guys next time.